Hello my fellow geeks and welcome to the Geek Apocalypse YouTube channel. My name's Stephen Hesse from the Geek Apocalypse podcast and founder, and I'm here to review Man of Steel. Having just went to seen it, it's still fresh in my head, so I'm hoping to do this 5-minute-ish, and I emphasize the word ish, review. And just to quickly tell you, there may be a small amount of spoilers but not a lot, but let's see what we can come up with. Oh yeah. Okay, so for those who have been living under a rock for the past 20 years or so, then please, or not, then please allow me to be enlightened by telling you the plot of essentially Superman's origins, aka from his birth to the Superman that we all know and love. He actually is literally born in the beginning scene, and you get to see Joel and Laura, Superman's real parents, actually at Krypton, which is cool because we don't usually get to see Krypton very often in Superman films. For those who want to see a sort of small plot, trying not to reveal as many spoilers as I can. The film starts actually in Krypton. There's some sort of civil war, and the council leaders are deciding what to do when General Zod does not agree with them. General Zod is the military leader, and he decides that he thinks he knows what he's talking about and wants to try and save Krypton his own way. Whereas Joel and Laura are aware of this, know that Krypton's going to end up self-destructing, and decide how best to send their son, aka Superman, with the codex with the Kryptonian race, aka their DNA, inside his capsule in order to protect the Kryptonian race from General Zod. So they look for all the compatible planets and decide Earth is the best place to send him. So essentially the film is showing after that how Superman adapts to life on Earth and becomes essentially Superman, that we all know and love. And the basic crux of the plot after that is General Zod returns and Superman has to save the day. Now, considering there's a Man of Steel 2 being made, you can make your mind up. But that's essentially pretty much the story with loads of little subplots in between, so let's get on to the review. Now, one of the things I really liked about the Man of Steel before I even went to see the film is the hiring they did before it even started. I remember when it first was announced that it was happening, some of the people they got involved in the project I think was a really sensible and genius move. To start with, obviously, they had the director Zack Snyder. Now, for those who don't know who Zack Snyder is, first of all, shame on you, but he's the guy who remade Dawn of the Dead, which I'm not that fond with to begin with, but I thought he did an okay job on that. But also he did the graphic adaptation of Watchmen, which I think is one of the greatest graphic novel adaptations of all time, in my honest opinion. I was a real huge fan of the comic book, and I really think he did a really great job. And he also did, for those that want to know, Gerard Butler's 300 film, which apparently they're going to make another one in a couple of years or so. Yay! Which was a decent film. But I think hiring him for this, I think, was a really smart idea, and I think it's conveyed throughout the film his sort of input and his directorial style, and I think that really puts this film up a level before you even see it, really, in that regard. But he doesn't disappoint in the director sense. One of the other things I think is a really good hiring idea was to get Christopher Nolan involved. I think, anyone who had to go through the Joel Schumacher nightmare that happened in the 90s with the Batman series, especially Batman and Robin, the homoeroticness, which made no sense whatsoever. Anyone who's seen that will know what I'm referring to, but it didn't seem like Batman could get resurrected. But one of the things I think Christopher Nolan did a really good job on and deserves a great deal of credit is to go through the sort of character development and to start from the roots of the character. I think one of the reasons that Batman was so successful was because it dealt with Bruce Wayne being Batman, as in like his other life. And I think what makes you have a sort of more emotional attachment in this for Superman is you actually get to see what happens to him when he first arrives on Earth and tries to adapt being a human from another planet, and obviously he doesn't know and has to live with parents who aren't actually his real parents. So I really like that they dealt with that. And also another person who deserves credit is David S. Goyer, who is his co-writer from The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises. He also did the Blade series, for those that are interested, and he also did the sequel to The Crow. Can you remember that? No, I didn't think so. But the first one was good, but he didn't do that. But he's also going to apparently be doing, David S. Goyer is doing Godzilla, and also the Justice League and Man of Steel Steel 2, which, yes, they're doing another one, but come on, seriously, did you think they weren't? Of course they are. There's going to be about 10 Iron Mans, is my theory. But yeah, so I think that was a really, really clever idea, because I think that's one of the reasons that this film works. Another thing is the amazing cast that they managed to get for this. Michael Shannon is a fantastic actor, and I think he does a great job being General Zod in this. He's kind of a believable evil guy. Amy Adams is fantastic as Lois Lane. I think she really conveys Lois Lane, the character's innocence, but also you kind of go, yeah, Superman would totally go with her. And I generally mean that. I think she does a fantastic job. In terms of, I thought Russell Crowe would ruin the film. I'm being totally frank in saying that, because I generally did, but I thought he was really, really good. And actually he's in it a fair bit, which I hope doesn't disappoint people, because he is actually good as Jor-El, Superman's real father. He does a really good job. So he deserves credit in that regard, because it's maybe I was being prejudgmental, thinking, oh my god, he's in a Superman film, he's going to ruin it, and he actually does pretty well. Diane Lane's one of my favourite actresses of all time. I always thought she was robbed of not getting the Oscar for Unfaithful, and she's great as obviously his Earth mother, and Kevin Costner as his adopted father does a fantastic job, and it kind of shows the emotional turmoil that Superman has to go through, and it is really, really good. And I love the fact that they dealt with that, because for the majority of the film, that's really what you get to know what Superman was like before he became Superman, and I love that. I mean, I really highly recommend anyone to watch Smallville, and that deals with that in quite significant detail. And I really, really pleased they went down that route, and it was so that pretty much covers my review. It is really, really well made, and now it's time for my final verdict. Now, what do I think in regards to my final verdict? Well, as I said, I'm not really a Superman fan to begin with, but I thought they've done a fantastic job with this. I'm so pleased that they went to the origin, and you actually got to see Krypton and the reason why Superman became Superman and ended up in Earth in the first place. Because I don't think that's conveyed enough in the earlier Supermans. And I be honest, one of the reasons I didn't like Superman was I never felt like I needed to care. The thing is, in order to make the Superman powers believable, you have to have some sort of emotional. You have to make them feel real, not just look real. And I think they've achieved that in great quantities for this film. And I'm really, really pleased I went to see it. I thought it was really, really good. I was involved in it. I felt it was a really, really good. I enjoyed it on quite a number of levels. And as I say, the cast are great. It's well made, and I'm so pleased. I think a lot of people are then going to reevaluate Superman and go, actually, yeah, he's someone I should care about. That was pretty cool. So yeah, in terms of giving it a rating, I don't think any film, and anyone who listened to my radio shows in the past would know I don't believe anything to get 10 out of 10. But I think this film quite easily deserves 9 out of 10. I thought it was a really fantastic reinvention of the series, and I hope long may it continue. In terms of actors, I just like to say we're kind of taking over the Brits one at a time. Obviously Henry Cavill and obviously Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man and Christian Bale as Batman. I'm not saying anything, but we're kind of awesome as Brits, and I think hopefully long may it continue. And we also have James Bond, let's not forget that, and Doctor Who. The list goes on. So yeah, that pretty much covers it. Highly recommended, really great. If you'd like to see the written version of this, please go to geekapocalypse.wordpress.com, where you'll see my full blog of my full review of Man of Steel. But I've been Stephen Hesse. Thanks for listening to my review, and go and see it. It's awesome.